and welcome to Reaction Time, the show where psychologists watch and react to media portrayals of other psychologists.
Ever wonder how accurately therapy is portrayed in your favorite shows? You're about to find out.
I am Dr. Rachel Kowert, Doctor of Psychology and Resident Research Psychologist.
I'm Dr. Sarah Hayes, Doctor of Counseling Psychology and Resident Licensed Practitioner.
And together, we know just enough to ruin any and all television and film portrayals of therapy and therapists. Small disclaimer before we get started, television and film representations of therapy are often exaggerated to make for more compelling TV. So that's something to keep in mind.
And as is common in real therapy, the programs we're going to be watching and discussing may bring up themes of trauma, suicidal ideation, and other triggering topics. So please feel free to step away to take care of yourself as you need.
So Sarah, what are we watching today?
So today we're going to be watching a Netflix show called Gypsy about a therapist who conducts therapy with a few individuals, but then her agenda changes when she learns about a client's ex who is fascinating. So we're going to be starting in on episode 6, which is unusual. We've usually started off with the first episode, but since the meat of the program doesn't start in this series, to me, fight me if you think I'm wrong, or be kind, just let me know in the comments. But I thought this was an episode that was really instrumental and had lots of meat for us to process through here. But with that being said, I think it's important to not only give a synopsis of what's happened in the show thus far, but then also to be able to go through and explain who the characters are, put faces to names, so you're not just listening to me prattle off about a bunch of random people. So let's start off looking at all of the characters that are going to be really important for this. So we have Dr. Jean Holloway, who's the main character. We have her husband, Michael Holloway. We have Sydney Pierce, the love interest and ex of her client, Sam Duffy, who's right there in the middle. And then we have Alexis, who is Michael, her husband's assistant. And then a couple of clients, Claire and Allison. To be clear, Claire and Allison are not related. Sam's not related to the other two, so these are each independent clients. So it's important to note in this show thus far, Jean is a therapist conducting therapy with Sam, Claire, and Allison over time, each independent of each other. And when she's talking to Sam, she learns all about Sydney. And she is so fascinated by this guy. And she is so interested, she actually shows up at Sydney's coffee shop, donning the new identity, Diane. And so she wants to get close to Sydney. She's fascinated by Sydney. But how is she supposed to balance this double life? So clearly that becomes some drama in the show when she's trying to balance between being Diane and then being Jean. Now, meanwhile, she's dealing with her other clients. Claire is dealing with a lot of estrangement with her daughter. She's wanting to be reconnected with her, but she's very overbearing. And Allison is dealing with living in an abusive romantic relationship. So we'll see just a little bit of Allison in this episode. But then it's also important to note that Jean's husband, Michael, while Jean's dealing with this double identity, double life, trying to be a suburban mom and also date the young barista, Michael's budding his own romance with Alexis, his assistant, and we get to see a little bit of where that's going in this episode. So, without further ado, here we are.
Spicy.
Yes.
Spicy.
So spicy. Oh my gosh. So let's start the episode.
Swanky choice.
Yeah, I just had a meeting.
Sure you did.
Okay, so this is clearly flirtation.
You didn't
Yes.
even kiss me hello. It's way too hot in here.
Oh no.
Is that her client? That's her client.
This isn't your place.
Yeah, it's Sam's. I hope you're not mad, but Stevie's my dog too.
This is what gets me. Why is she snooping?
Yeah.
That's not something you can just ignore, that he has a gun.
Claire,
Jean.
grab your coat. Actually, we're gonna head outside today.
We are? Mm-hmm. All right. Can't do this. I mean, I did yoga for a little while, but my hamstrings
It's
are...
okay. It doesn't require physical strength as much as it does the mind's attention and focus.
She should have talked to her client about how would you feel about going to a meditation class?
Yes.
How would
Yes.
instead of just like hoisting it upon her.
Yes. And then take very thorough notes saying, my client verbally agreed to attend said class after having a thorough conversation on the risks and rewards of
doing it. Yeah.
The world will not come to an end because you are taking time for yourself.
Seems like the
Notice
therapist
how
is
your
taking the
breath
class for herself.
Flows in and out. We all have noise in our head. But today,
Yeah, the client doesn't seem too
I
interested.
would like you to release yourself from the excessive thoughts. Your thoughts that build up and up.
This
So the
gives me yucky
continuous
feelings
habit
because
of
I just
thinking
feel like she
turns
wanted to go to
into
this
a
class,
worried
but had a
kind of
client,
chatter.
so she took her there.
It's not like you to be late. I'm so fucking mad. Like I can't control myself.
Why don't you sit?
I come home yesterday and she took him. She stole my fucking dog.
Are you sure it was her?
At this point, considering she has an interest in pursuing a romantic relationship with Sydney, she should not be seeing Sam as her client.
correct. But she shouldn't have ever met Sydney in the first
100%,
place.
100%. So, I mean, regardless of that, I mean,
But where we're at
100%.
now, yes.
she's already in too deep.
Way too deep. And
Yeah.
I feel like the consistent theme, like I told Rachel, but to the audience, I couldn't finish this series. I couldn't finish this series because as a clinician, it was very hard to witness like the length of ethical boundary crossing.
Yeah.
And like we'll talk many times over in the show about like the cliches that they put in therapists and shows, but this was just too much for my comfort, and I'm not squeamish when it comes to programs. Like I'll watch Black Mirror after a hard day at work, but I feel like this pushed it.
Yeah. I mean, we already know she shouldn't in any way have sought out people he's talking about.
Right.
But now she's going to be either unhelpful at best and actively harming at worst this person as her client.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep. And part of why, so when she found that gun, for example, I think that it's really hard to then put that piece of information that you've discovered that's shocking about a client, bury it back in the back of your head, and just try not to think about it. It's impossible. It's so hard to not hold on to that, because like this is just like if you're doing couples therapy, the person I learned from and my current supervisor holds a very firm policy that there are no secrets. And if you tell me a secret between you and your spouse, or you want me to know something but you don't want them to know it, you're going to tell them later. It's just a matter of when, not if, because it ruins the objectivity of being in the room. So it's hard, but
And now he's very upset and angry, and you know that he has a weapon, right? So that's
which I mean is useful information to know, but also knowing it is not good. Ugh.
It's not good. It changes your perspective completely.
Exactly.
Mr. Okita break into my place. Telling you, I could fucking kill her.
Should we know?
Sam, I have to ask. It's part of my job to report.
Now we're
if you're a
crossing
danger
another
to
boundary.
yourself or to others.
Even know how to anyway.
Liar.
Yep. And you know he's lying.
And she knows he's lying.
I understand you're panicking,
She's like a duck right now.
but digging into
Smooth
this
on
matter
top,
is
but
just a
paddling
long-term
underneath.
fixation on Sydney. Instead of it being how in love you are, you're just getting preoccupied with the dog. When really,
Rude.
Oh,
this
that's
could be a
bad.
real positive.
Oh, that's bad.
How?
This is your chance to break free from Sydney.
Oh my God.
I know how much you love Stevie, but that dog is just a reminder of the heartache. It's impossible.
And she's trying to
for you
get
move
Sydney
on.
the dog. Oh, come on.
Don't cancel.
No.
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 No. Oh, and it's a waist hug. It's a waist hug.
Hi.
Happy to see me.
Who's that?
How can I help?
Oh, it's her. Oh, it's the abusive partner. So he knows that that's Allison's partner.
Yes.
And he is abusive.
Yes. And he is showing up at the office, which does happen.
Oh,
unfortunately.
100%, which is a terrible situation.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Sorry, Let's begin.
She won't see me without you here. I guess she's scared.
If you were the clinician and you didn't know he was coming, would you have proceeded in the same way?
No, I would have made him wait in the lobby. I would have
Yeah.
chatted with my client first and said, hey, is this...
Yeah.
I don't mind meeting with your partner, but this was unexpected. I just wanted to check in with you. Did you ask him here? Kind of clarify all of that. Make sure we have ground rules together, and then invite him in. Because they're not my client, she's my client.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And she seems visibly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That he's there. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Because she doesn't have a therapeutic relationship with this man. Her what's the word? Loyalty, for lack of a better word,
Right.
is with Allison.
Right. And she has bias there because she knows the whole story through Allison's lens.
Correct. Right.
If you're gonna be disrespectful, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
Good.
That's good. So that's good. Client notes. Clinicians do take notes after all the sessions.
That was a very simple note compared to what it should be.
Why would she be in public?
Plus, I have
with her?
this.
She's gonna lose her
If
license.
things don't work out with me,
So
what's your
sloppy.
backup plan?
This is having a connection.
Right.
It's real.
There's nothing wrong with two women kissing, to be clear, but it's all about the relationship.
No. Yes. That show made me feel very uncomfortable, as you told me it would do. There's she's gonna lose her license. Okay. Girl is reckless. The girl is breaking all the rules. She's not even a good therapist, because
No.
with Sam, she's, I think, doing active harm. Go see this other girl. It'll be fine. Go give her the dog. You don't need the dog. It's like, oh my God.
It's ridiculous.
I would not want to watch more. It makes me feel very uncomfortable.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just a very uncomfortable show.
Well, thanks for that one, Sarah.
It's just, I could not piece apart. Usually it's like, here's the 3 big ethical dilemmas of this episode. This one is so packed, and this wasn't even an episode that was the worst. This was an episode that was like palatable compared to some of the others.
Yeah.
So this is the uncomfortable experience as a therapist or as a psychologist of Gypsy. Also, I just noticed our cameras have flipped. And I don't know why.
Cameras have flipped. What do you mean? Are they showing us backwards?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. That's okay. Cool. We don't know why. I am not Sarah.
Nope. And I'm not
But
Rachel.
I enjoyed it in a kind of way that's not really enjoying, but
It was a ride. It was an experience.
it was an experience, and I do appreciate having the experience.
Agreed. And thank you for going on this ride with me. Because
Yeah, anytime.
I feel similar sentiments.
Yes, I'm glad that we can commiserate together. All right. Well, thanks guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.